there we are.
Welcome into the first ever edition of the Ozarks Gambling Gurus podcast. I'm Scotty P. Scott Purrier. We have Dan Evans, Danny Handpay. There'll be all kinds of jokes flowing on that here soon, I'm sure. And then Randy Murphin. And we're all going to talk about gambling each Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. We'll store the taped version of this on our Facebook page. Be sure to follow at Ozarks Gambling Gurus, excuse me. And also on our YouTube channel, which hopefully some of you are seeing it live and may be able to watch it. If not, I'm sure we'll get some text, won't we, Murph, that you idiots are not live, right?
Probably.
Yeah. So, guys, this should be fun.
I'm ready.
Forward to it. Hey, before we get started, though, Scott, I wanted to kind of give a little shout out to you and your family. I saw some cool pictures from Florida, and just a great looking family, great. Just a lovely wife. And the thing I thought was cool about it, in all the pictures, I don't know if it was your wife's father or grandfather, but I thought it was cool that he went with your family down there.
That was awesome. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, that would be me. I believe you married young too, did you not?
No, I was 35.
No. I mean the spouse. The spouse was young. Yeah.
I got
it.
Yeah. So, we watched that blossom in high school.
Oh wow! Was Dateline there or not?
It could be. That wouldn't fly today, but that's for another podcast.
Well, we're gonna have some fun with this, and for those who don't know, it was born out of a podcast I did for Around the Ozark Sports Scene for Midwest Family Radio. I had Randy and Dan on talking gambling. I do a weekly, mostly football, basketball, baseball. And just kind of got in a let's talk something different this week, and brought those two on, and we had a lot of views, and we got to talking. And hey, let's have fun with it. Let's talk some casino games with Dan and Randy, and poker and slots, and let's talk sports betting with Missouri about to finally on December 1st, I guess, add in the ability for us to bet online, and then fantasy football during the football season. It's crazy how popular that is, and I'm in way too many leagues. I won't say how many, just to not incriminate myself in my own household. But guys, should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Should be a lot of fun.
I'm ready.
Yeah. And we're taking tossing around ideas about doing maybe a listener league. We'll have more details on that next week, but we'll do a fantasy league on one of the platforms for free on Yahoo or Sleeper or one of those, and it'll be us three and probably 9 listeners, and we'll do that. If we can come up with 9 listeners, that would be the key. But then and come up with a nice prize for the winner at the end of the season. But we'll talk more about that last week. So the way we envision this going each time is we kind of break it into segments, talking about different areas. We no doubt will get sidetracked and go back into areas we've already talked about as we're zinging each other. But Dan is Danny Handpay, because he goes down to downstream and Indigo Sky, and the Dan Evans Tower will be going up soon in his honor, I think, with all the hand pays he stops and gets at both places. And of course, Murph's been a poker guy in the area for many years. Some would debate how successful that is, but you are a poker guy, right, Murph?
I've built a tower. I don't have a tower like Dan. Yeah, I built a tower.
Yeah. And we've kind of got ideas of what we want to talk about. And Dan, one of your subject on the casino games is how do we get free stuff? And I think that's a great one. My 18-year-old daughter turned 18 back in October, went down there, won her first night, and then a week later we're getting mail from downstream for free rooms, and stuff. And it doesn't take much, but I'm curious, we've been with people that go down there and they get free toasters and they get free tumblers and all this stuff. Kind of explain how that works.
Yeah. So each casino might be a little bit different, but basically they are going to give you points based on how much in terms of money that you play and the length of time that you play. So the whole game about getting free stuff is earning points. Typically, like at downstream, every $10 you bet, you get a point. And so there's three ways to earn a lot of points. One would be to lose a lot of money. That's not a good way to earn points. The second way would be to win a lot of money so you can play a lot. That's certainly a good way. Then the other way is as you play, if you want to earn free stuff, try to find some machines that might go up and down quite a bit, but it gives you a lot of play for the same amount of money that you put in. So you put in $100, you run it up to 300 or 400, it might run back down to 100 or 200, then it might run back up. So without putting in more money, you keep earning more points.
And I'm really bad about not taking my card, number one, and not putting my card in a slot every time I play. That's the only way they're going to be able to track what you're doing, right?
Yes, exactly. And I'd gone through periods of time where I thought, they have always said the card has zero bearing on the machines. I've gone through periods of time where I didn't 100% believe that. But the last several, in fact, for the whole summer, the jackpots I've hit, I've had my card in every time. So if you're going to go, you might as well put your card in and earn some points. And then
you prove that theory wrong. That's good.
Yeah, the more points you get, and the higher you move up in their levels of play, and you get free tickets to concerts, free rooms, free food at the good steak place down there. So it's certainly worth your while, but don't play slot machines just to earn points.
One of the guys at the station at Midwest Family does cruises, and he probably does 4 or 5 of them a year and never pays for it because I think he gambles enough in the casino on those cruises that he essentially gets a free cruise. I mean, that's not a bad deal. I mean, because you got
at Downstream, and I don't know what level it starts at, but once a year, at least once, maybe twice a year, they have a nice dinner, and you can sign up for a free cruise.
Yeah, you get free cruises. Yeah, had those.
Yeah.
So what is the point where you start getting the mail that says, "Hey, come stay with us Sunday through Thursday nights for free"?
Oh, I think they start doing that at the first level, don't they, Randy?
Yeah, my daughter, turned 18. She went down her first trip, and just like you said with your daughter, the next week she's getting mailers, and she gets more stuff than I do now.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens, but
yeah. What's the biggest perk someone gets when you become a whale at Downstream or Indigo Sky or one of the area casinos?
Oh, I think.
Yeah, Dan will have to answer that one.
Yeah. I'm not in that stratosphere, so yeah.
Like right now, I get $100 a week that I can use anywhere in the property, I guess you call it. I mean, I can use it for gas up at the convenience store. I can use it for food, stuff in the gift shop. So that's $400 a month that I get for that. So for me, that's a pretty good, especially when gas gets high, you don't, if you're getting free gas for going down there, you don't really have to, count that in as money spent.
They treat the people from Springfield pretty good because they know we've got to drive. I've got a couple of buddies that live in Joplin, and they gamble just as much as me, but they won't get that perk because they know they're in Joplin, so they're right there. But
so is it kind of based on that? I mean, based on your locale too?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then does it matter if you're winning a lot or losing a lot? Do they try harder to get you down there one way or the other? Like if you're taking a lot of money from them, are they trying desperately to get you back because they know they're going to get their money back?
If you have a host, if you hit a jackpot, they immediately get an email on their phone. And if you start hitting some jackpots, they will be calling you to get you back down there to stay. And most nights anymore, it seems like they have free room or they have open rooms, and it's not unusual if you hit a jackpot, they'll come by and say, "Why don't you just spend the night with us tonight?"
That's why I lost my host, I guess. You got to hit jackpots.
Well, they know. I mean, the more you play, the better the chances you're going to lose.
Yeah, they're good to you. Can be.
So we started our Facebook page probably about a month ago, maybe a little longer, and Ozarks Gambling Gurus. You can see the scroll along the bottom of this screen. Dan had a day, I think it was a day, maybe it was a weekend of like 7 hand pays tickets. Did you put that up there or not?
I think I put that on Facebook. I think
Yeah.
that and the funny thing about that was that actually was on a Monday night. My wife and I had gone down to Tulsa for the day and came back and spent Monday and Tuesday at Downstream and got on the machine that I'd played a lot this summer, and it started doing good. And I played it for 12 hours from 5 in the afternoon till 5 in the morning and hit 7 jackpots on the same machine.
Wow.
So
and what is a hand pay? Is that 1,000 or more? Or what's the number?
More.
How much?
1,200 or more.
1,200 or more.
Yeah.
But so they just changed that, correct? Didn't they change it, Dan, up to 2K, or is that
January of 2026?
Okay, it goes to 2K.
Wow. So it will give you cash out of the machine up to 2,000.
Well,
starting January 26th.
It'll just let you print out a ticket.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
You can hit a bunch of under 1,200 hits and have it up, run your machine up to $9,000, and you pull your ticket out and go to the cashier and cash it out, and you don't get taxed for it. I mean, of course, we would report that.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, my wife's going to make me ask this because she does every time that somebody has a hand pay. When you get that, what are you betting per spin typically?
It just depends. I mean, I've seen, people. Well, I saw about 3 years ago, a lady was playing $4 and hit a $26,000 jackpot. And I think maybe I told on our last broadcast, I was sitting by an older couple, even older than me, maybe 2 summers ago, and they were playing, I think, $3.88 and hit 617,000.
Holy cow!
On a Buffalo machine. So I mean, you don't necessarily have to play. I mean, my wife she's playing $2.34 down at Indigo and hit 6,600 and something.
So it doesn't matter.
No, I mean, I think the higher amounts are always going to be capable of pulling off bigger jackpots, but it's not impossible, to hit a jackpot even if you're playing a small amount.
You were going to talk about the craziest thing you've seen this summer. What is that story?
Yeah, I was sitting at that machine that I played a lot this summer, and
let's go ahead and out it. Let's out the machine so everybody can start playing.
Yeah, tell us, Dan. Tell us.
Well, I'll tell you what kind it was. It's a 9, what I call a 9-line VGT machine, and it's a Mr. Moneybags. It's a 10-cent machine. So max bet on it's $18. You can bet as little as 10 cents all the way up to $18. 2 machines down from me was a guy playing a quarter machine, Crazy Cherry Jubilees, I think is the name of that one. It's a 9-line machine. And I've seen a lot of people lose on that machine the previous couple of weeks. And when I sat down, I noticed he had about $1,600 on it. And so I started kind of watching. He was playing on that machine, max bet is $45. So he was playing between $18 and $22.50 a spin. And over the course of the next hour or so, he ran it up to $14,300. Then started playing max bet and cashed out at 42 cents. He ran 14,300 all the way down to 42.
I bet I know him.
And he wasn't backing off on the amount of the spin each time.
$35 to spin all the way down.
Yeah.
And
that reminds me, I think we talked on the original radio podcast about those machines down there that have like something, blows up and goes into a pot. And it's like it's bubbling, like it's ready just to blow over and you're going to win all this money. Those are the ingenious games by those companies, aren't they? Because they know that if that thing is shaking and rumbling, you're not leaving that machine till it goes off, right?
So another 100 until it hits. Like today, Dan, in your silver dollar shootout, the double 6 shooters, I had 5 bullets lined up, needed 1 in each, and I went down to 0 and put another 200 in. So they know what they're doing.
Well, and
But
I've done
I
that,
got
and
him
that's the
back.
game we were trying to get him to out. Murph was the silver dollar shootout
Silver
because
dollar shootout.
he doesn't like to tell people that because if he goes down there and can't get a seat, he's going to be a little
have,
ticked.
have to drive all the way back to
Probably call for
Springfield.
your host and say, "Hey, can you clear one of these people out of here?" Right?
Hey, I think the lesson to learn in that is that if you are fortunate enough to get up on a machine, don't get greedy, because those machines have a tendency just to all of a sudden they just die. And here's the tricky part: it's not uncommon for all of those type of VGT machines, and maybe all slot machines, that you get a good run, maybe you get it up to $1,000, you might get it back down to $500, $600, $700, and then it goes back up again, and you get in that habit, and then all of a sudden it goes down, and it doesn't go back up, and you keep chasing it, and all of a sudden you're back down to zero.
And
That's where discipline comes in.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Walk away
That's
from
right.
the machine. And we'll ask some of these questions often, maybe even weekly, because I think we'll have new people jump in. But you mentioned it was a Monday night, that night that you hit big. Does it matter day, night, which day, which night? I think you said one time that when a new quarter starts, fiscal quarter, sometimes things are tighter. I think, yeah.
I have that theory, and
Right.
what happens, my honest opinion now is that I don't think it matters what time you go down. I mean, I don't think it matters what time you go down, what day you go down. All those machines, that random number generator is spitting out numbers faster than you can push the button, and it's just a matter of pushing that button at the right time.
Why VGT machines? That's a brand. How many brands are there in a casino in most cases?
Oh gosh, Randy, what do you think?
I have no idea. Bally machines, but the VGTs are big around here in the Indian casinos because they turn red. Everybody likes the red spin.
And VGT has a contract. You can only find those in Indian casinos all over the United States.
Really?
Yeah.
So you go to Vegas and you got a machine you really love to play here. It may not be out in Vegas.
Absolutely. Yeah. There
Right.
are no VGT machines in Vegas.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why is that, you think?
Well, they just have a contract
With Indian casinos.
They've agreed. I mean,
Yeah.
they buy enough machines. They don't. That's the only one they'll sell to.
What's a slot tournament? Tell me how that works.
Well, there's various kinds. The kind they have down at Downstream, like you'll get something in the mail, and they'll have maybe a Friday, Saturday, and you go down, you go back in the ballroom, and they'll have usually about 40 machines. They're always the VPT machines, and it doesn't cost anything to enter. And you play. Sometimes it's 2-minute rounds, sometimes it's 3-minute rounds, and they'll do that every 15 minutes for 3 or 4 hours. Then after that 3 or 4 hours is up, they'll take the top 30 scores from all of those sessions, and then those people go back in and they'll do another 2 or 3-minute round. And the payouts in those, I've never hit a payout on a slot tournament. Is maybe $5,000 to $10,000 for first place. So it pays good, but you're talking about, again, just being on the right machine at the right time, and you're going to be going against. If they do that every 15 minutes, that's about 160 people an hour. So somewhere between 400 and 500 people are competing on those usually.
Wow.
And make sure you hit your button constantly, because
yes.
I got in trouble. That's why I don't get invited back to play those anymore. So
yeah, if you get a good spin and try to slow play it, they'll get on to you.
Oh, they got me.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Wow.
Yeah, 5 years ago. That's where Dan. Remember our last picture I sent you
Yep,
from our slot tourney? I think that was my last one.
Dan, what percentage of time when you're at either place, Downstream or Indigo Sky, are you playing slots? And when you don't, what do you jump over and play just for a break?
Oh, occasionally. I mean, you can't do it at Indigo. I like to play craps, so I do that at Downstream some. I don't play any of the other card games. I've only played cards with Randy once, and that was in his house with Sean Hare, who's coaching up in Kansas City now. Randy, remember that? But that's poker with Murph. But yeah, I usually play the slots.
Why does Indigo Sky not have craps?
Well,
They've got
they had it right before COVID, and then after COVID, they didn't ever have it again. In order for craps to be an effective game, you have to have multiple people that can deal, and you have to have multiple people working that game that are really good at math. And if you don't have that, you're not going to have many crap players for very long. So in the short period they had it, I don't think they probably had the level of people working that game as they do at Downstream or even Kansas Crossing.
so the math classes in Seneca, you're saying, are a little below average?
Well, I'm not saying that, but
Okay.
but yeah, they have to really be able to quickly do math.
Yeah. Do you guys ever venture down to Buffalo Run or over to Kansas Crossing? And when you do, what is it that drives you to a different place for a different time?
I go if there's a poker room and there. I mean, I've been to Buffalo Run. They used to have poker there years ago, but if there's not a poker room, I generally don't go. So Dan, do you ever go? I mean, I used to hear Buffalo Run, their slots were loose. And did you ever go down there and try?
I've never done very good at Buffalo Run. I've been probably 5-6 times. For me, it's just an extra 20 miles. I just, I mean, I've got some friends that really like it, and that's great. And I don't have any, no reason I shouldn't like it. They've always been nice when I've been there, but I've just never done very good. So for me, it's silly for me, I think, to drive past Indigo and Downstream to go to a place I don't feel as comfortable playing.
Now, Kansas Crossing. I'm sorry, Scott. Kansas Crossing has sports betting though, right? Because they're in Kansas. Yes, they have a sport book there. I haven't been over since it was. Since that came legal over there.
They're probably not real fond of Missouri adding it, I would think, right?
No, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, I've been busted by my wife a couple times for parking in that strip club parking lot by Downstream.
There's a strip club over there?
Yeah, and making my DraftKings sportsbook bets because I'm in Kansas. When you're over there, if you go 500 yards, you're there. What about River Bend? Some of the smaller ones. Is there the Outpost?
Yeah, the Outpost.
Try those places.
Sky. The Outpost is a nice little place. Obviously, a lot smaller. I've been to River Bend a couple of times. There's what's the other one called? High Winds, Randy?
High Winds, yeah. River Bend, I've never been to. My parents actually just went 2 weeks ago, and my mom had a nice little jackpot hit there. So of course that's on the map again for them to go to. But I haven't been there yet.
Cherokee Grove, right?
Smaller places that that aren't quite as crowded. I think those are great places to go. And then
are they all in the same general vicinity of payouts? I mean, legally they have to be, correct?
Well, I don't know how closely on the Indian casinos those are monitored. I mean, I think, yes, they pretty much have to be mostly the same. For me, the biggest difference between Indigo and Downstream, and I love Indigo, but at Indigo, they won't let you take out any taxes off your jackpots. No. And at Downstream, you can. And you say, well, I mean, so what? Well, if you hit, for example, that night I hit 7 on that one machine, that adds up to quite a bit of federal tax. And for me, I'd rather just pay it and have that done than have to try to worry about it.
And that was at Indigo?
No, that was at Downstream. That's what I'm saying. But if I'd done that at Indigo, there's no tax taken out, and you're going to owe tax on all of it.
When did that start? Because I hit one. It's been a couple of years, but I hit one in high limit one night for like 7,000, and I swear I had taxes taken out.
To my knowledge, Indigo has never taken out taxes, at least in the last. Well, I don't think they've taken out taxes since they've been in that new building.
No, it was early in the morning, so I could be a little mistaken. Don't tell Oklahoma Gaming. I might owe them some money.
Maybe somebody took out that amount of taxes and kept it and just told you they were sending it to the government.
There you go.
They probably did. They got me.
Have either one of you been to the new restaurant at Indigo yet? The Rock and Brew? Or
I've been there. Randy,
go ahead, Dan. No, I've been in there at the bar to get a drink. I haven't eaten there, but it's really nice. I mean, they have a good band on the weekends, and it's what Gene Simmons
Yeah.
bar of Rock and Brews, and so it's pretty cool.
Well, and we go, of course, we're not the hardcore slots or poker guys like you guys, but we go for the pool. The Indigo pool is really cool with the bar out there
Yeah,
and
I
the
agree.
waterfall, and and
Yeah.
then downstream, same thing. Do you guys ever venture down into Tulsa to Hard Rock and River Spirit?
I
I've
do. I
been
like River Spirit the best. It's close. If you like to, my wife is a lot more into exercising than I am probably, but it's right next to the big river walk that goes long way. And so we like that. She likes I think, is that a Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville?
Margaritaville pool. I've been there one time to River Spirit, and
Yeah.
I really like it. But
Yeah.
I'm a Hard Rock guy just because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have run good poker tournaments and stuff there. But yeah, I do like that pool.
And very convenient,
That's-
like right on the edge of Tulsa when you get there, Hard
Yeah.
Rock too, which makes it
Right.
nice too. So,
Randy, is that where you hit your big pot that time?
The Hard Rock, the
Yeah.
Bad Beat, yeah, that was a Hard Rock during a run good tournament. So of course that's my favorite.
well, Randy, let's same question that we asked Dan. When you go to the casinos, what percentage of your time there is spent playing poker, and when you're not, what else are you trying to work in just for a break?
I try to stay in the poker room as long as possible, but playing 10 hours, it gets a little boring or you're running bad. So you go walk around and I'll go sit at a slot. I have a few slots I play, or go out and have a little blackjack session or just do one big bet at blackjack. I call it my drive by just to change things up, or maybe go to the bar and play some 25-cent Keno and watch part of the game that's on just to break it up. But I usually just try to stay in the poker room.
So for the hardcore poker players, is there a tournament basically every weekend at one or the other, or how does that work for poker people?
They have both Indigo and, well, I know Hard Rock goes too, but Indigo and Downstream, they have their weekly tournaments. Today was the seniors tournament at Indigo. I was down there. It's a $50 buy-in. They have one Wednesday and Thursday. I think Downstream now has a Wednesday night tournament, and then their weekend tournaments are usually $100. Coming up at Indigo, I think once a quarter or once a month they have a 10K guaranteed. It's on a Saturday. It's a $280 buy-in, and then Hard Rock is going to have the Oklahoma State Poker Championship. That's a good one. It's put on by Run Good, which is they run tournaments like locally, and they're getting bigger. It's done by a bunch of Tulsa guys. They came up with it probably about 8 or 9 years ago and started it. Their first stop was at Downstream, so a lot of Midwestern people play that tour, and it starts August 21st at Hard Rock. So that's a good tournament. A lot of people will be going to coming up.
Do you see a lot of the same people when you go? I mean, you know the poker people.
Same faces. Like if I haven't been to Tulsa in a while and I go down there, I see 25, 30 people I hadn't seen in forever. It's a little reunion. So yeah, it's the same. It's the same folks. You'll get the younger generation starting to play more. So you see some new faces, but the old ones are always there.
And when you walk in there, are there people you're like, well, crap, he's here or she's here, or what percentage of the room is typically male versus female?
I would say 90% male.
Yeah.
But we did have our first final table of the main event. A first woman, Leo Margetts, made it the first woman to make the final table since like '95, I believe. So hopefully that'll inspire some more female players. I know they're out there, but maybe the numbers will pick up after that.
Why don't more women play poker? Is it complicated?
It's intimidating. I mean, if I was a chick, I wouldn't want to sit with a bunch of dudes and play, but
Smelly dudes, right?
Smelly dudes with terrible jokes, and they're just gross.
Sunglasses.
Sunglasses. I wouldn't want to sit with me for 10 hours. But
Dan, I want you to wear sunglasses playing slots next time you go down to Downstream.
Feel like start a new trend?
Yes, yeah, and then because then people go, well, he just got 3 hand pays. It must work, that type of deal.
Hey, Randy,
are you a guy that will reach up and pull the lever after you've been tapping for a while?
No,
is that amateurish?
I don't rub the screen. I don't do it. Hey, Randy, tell people what. So when you go into a poker room, I know last week I saw you down there and you played in a tournament that you just had to give, I think, like $100 buy-in. So what's the options you have when you go into a poker room? What's like a 1-2 table, cash game? What's the difference in all that?
Most of the around here downstream in Indigo, the 1-2 game runs all during the week. When you get closer to the weekend on Fridays, they have a bigger game, a 2-5 game, a 5-10 game, a PLO game, pot limit Omaha. That's basically Texas Hold'em with 4 cards. Those games get pretty big, but generally it's just the 1-2 game for most of the week. Hard Rock.
What does 1-2 or 5-10 mean?
1-2, the blinds. So usually the max buy-in at a 1-2 game is $300. The minimum's $100, and those are the blinds. So you have the button, the dealer button, and to the left of the dealer button is the small blind. That's $1. To the left of him is the big blind, and that's $2. So it's just forced action, and the button goes around after each hand, and so everybody has to put in a blind. It just keeps the game going, but with no limit. You can, the $2 big blind, you can rip in all your chips. You can just call the 2. You can fold. You can raise it 20. So there's lots of options. That's the 1-2. And the bigger the blinds, like the 2-5 game or 5-10, obviously your stacks are going to be bigger. You're going to be playing with more money behind. And so that's kind of generally what that means.
Well, we'll talk more casino stuff every week. We'll hopefully get the chat up and running where we can answer questions that come in and as we progress with figuring out what the heck we're doing with the software and technology here on this, but kind of wanted to switch gears. We're going to try to keep these to 40 to 45 minutes each week, so people don't feel like they're spending the night with us overnight, if they stay any longer. But sports gambling, I think we mentioned that. I think now it's been pushed back to December 1st, and that's the drop dead. Have you seen anything differently? Is that the
it
date?
is? It's December 1st.
Yeah.
Is what I just read in the. Hopefully, I guess 3 outlets: the DraftKings, FanDuel, and Circa Sports. We're trying to get the. What are the 2? They're not tethered to an NFL team or a casino. Did you read that, Dan? That article I sent you?
I didn't read it close enough.
And I think we'll find out Friday which 2 of the 3 are going to get those 2 spots, which I'm sure will be DraftKings and FanDuel. But I'd like to see Circa just because the owner of Circa he's a downtown Vegas guy, owns the D, owns Circa, and I'd like to see that in there. So
that's the big pool, really nice outdoor pool, right?
Stadium Swim.
Yeah.
Derek Stevens is his name. Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's always downtown. You can see him, talk to him, just a regular guy with a lot of money.
And we all have gone to Oaklawn, and enjoyed those trips. And of course, they've had sports betting for a few years now with the kiosks in the casino where you can walk up and just make your bet there and put your cash in or put your ticket in and get your ticket back out for your bet. Instead of having to go to a window. They do have some windows, I think, at both places, or at Hot Springs at Oaklawn. But I wonder, we really don't know much about Missouri's online betting until December 1st. Is it basically just you and your cell phone, your mobile device, and going on an app and betting? Will there be a time where you'll walk into a restaurant and there might be a kiosk there at some point, or what do we know about it? Anything?
The brick and mortars are just, I would assume they'll be in, I don't know if every casino, I would think casinos and then maybe mobile, but I haven't read up on that. So, I don't know.
It was kind of pitched as there'd be a day when you could walk up to a kiosk at Arrowhead Stadium, and you go get your beer, get your soda, and then you can go over and make a bet on the second half, and I don't know how many years that's down the road or if that even is included with this. Maybe we can do some research and find out what it means other than just.
Part of the whole problem with our state has been they haven't been real clear on exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If they had them at Arrowhead, I would take the over on penalties in the second half.
on the visiting team.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Guy wearing the Raiders shirt.
Yes, and I'm sure you will antagonize Chiefs fans the entire season on here too.
It's going to be fun.
Yes, but that would be cool if you could walk up in a stadium and make a
Yeah.
bet. And the NFL, they're not going to play the high and mighty. We're above that thing anymore because they got gambling partners, and
Well,
all
they're in bed with it now.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, why not take advantage of it? But it's just going to be fun. And I think the most disappointing thing is that it's not going right now because college football, NFL coming up here next week with colleges. NFL September 4th is the first game in the NFL. And it would just be so cool to be able to start out a season.
Yeah.
And do
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
government officials aren't the brightest bulbs, so I don't know who came up with December 1st. College is almost over. Yeah, but
Well, I think
we got to get what we can take.
Isn't it the guy that was filibustering the whole thing is like in charge of the commission now or something?
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
How does that happen?
Politics.
Yeah.
All
So
bullshit.
So next week we'll be able to talk about some college games and get some picks. I know we're going to have guests on. I know Big Phil is going to join us every now and then, talk college football and his thoughts.
Phil.
Yeah, Phil Montgomery and I know I think I saw 3 games next week on the weekend, but then a full bore the weekend of August 30th, Labor Day weekend. Some great matchups then.
Yeah,
I know
good
Texas at Ohio State, which I think I read is the first time ever that the number 1 team in the preseason poll is an underdog in the opener. And I think they're a 2.5-point dog going to the Horseshoe at Ohio State. So that'll be a tremendous game to start the season. I believe Clemson and LSU play, Notre Dame and Miami. Kind of great way to kick off the season.
Missouri State, USC, that'll be a nail biter.
Well, and that's the beauty of gambling is a 34.5-point line.
Yeah.
Do the Bears cover or do they not cover,
God, if they cover, that'd be amazing. That'd be good.
Well, and that's a lot of points, and this is their first season at Conference USA, jumping up a level. I don't think it's as big a jump as a lot of people think, simply because they were in the best 1AA conference in the country in the Missouri Valley, because I never could tell North Dakota, South Dakota, North Dakota State, South Dakota State apart, but somebody from there was always winning a national championship in that league and had to play Missouri State every year. But I'll tell you, it's going to be kind of fun. September 13th, after the USC game, and I believe they've got, I want to say Marshall maybe in week 2, the Bears, but SMU comes in here to Plaster Sports Complex.
That's cool.
And SMU is a top 20 team. I think they're number 15 in one of the polls, and they are a team that in this new warped, crazy NIL world, they spend the money because SMU has the alumni base to spend the money, and it will be bar none the most talented team ever to play on
Plaster.
And of course, that'll be Art Haynes' last ever game, and very fitting because Art's alma mater is SMU.
Nice. Yeah, I think I read that.
That'll be a fun night, and so so we'll talk more college next week and some of those games. We may see if Phil can jump on with us, talk about his picks, and then the NFL kicks off on Thursday night, September 4th. I think it's Cowboys and Eagles, isn't it?
Cowboys, Eagles, correct. Yep.
Yeah, and then the Chiefs with a Friday night game. The next
Friday in where are they?
Are they out of the country for that one? Yeah. Brazil.
Yeah, I think it's in Brazil.
Hey,
against the Chargers.
Here, we need to go ahead and buy that camera expander so we can get his head on a screen.
I'm not gonna comment on that because he's a client of mine now, so I've got to be nice with that. But yeah, fantasy football. We're going to talk a lot of that. Like we mentioned, I think we're going to have a fantasy league for our listeners. The 3 of us plus 9 people, and Dan, you got some connections at one of the breweries, don't you, where you can get us a gift card or something for the league winner. But we are right in the middle of draft season. This weekend, not so much, but then the next 2 weekends and during the week will be nights for everybody to have their draft parties and set their lineups, because Labor Day weekend, Monday, September 1st, and then we're playing NFL games 3 days later, which seems very early, September 4th. But I was just going to touch on some of it because I'm an addict, just like you are with slots and poker. I'm a fantasy football addict, and we've had at least one round of preseason games. I know there was the Hall of Fame game, which doesn't really factor in, but I was going to touch on some of the risers on draft boards from the first week of preseason games. Trevion Henderson, the rookie running back from Ohio State that's with the Patriots, very speedy guy. All he did was return the opening kickoff 100 yards for a touchdown and just pour more gas on that fire for a guy that's climbing up boards. And I think, he's going into a backfield where Ramondre Stevenson is the incumbent. Ramondre can't hold the football. He gets hurt a lot. He's already hurt this week as well. So a lot of people are thinking Henderson may be the 3-down back in that, even though he's kind of a little tiny, but he's explosive. So he's a guy to watch. And then Ted McMillan, the rookie wide receiver from Carolina, played collegiately at Arizona. Big guy, 6'4", 220.
I heard he was looking good.
Yeah. Well, and he's one of those guys. I mean, he was the second receiver taken because the Jaguars traded up to get Travis Hunter for a two-way player, for Jacksonville, which it looks like Hunter's going to be more of a maybe 80% offense, 20% defense. They need him and his skill set catching passes from Trevor Lawrence opposite Brian Thomas Jr. But McMillan looks good. Bryce Young's a quarterback. He was awful his rookie year. He really kind of came on late last year and gave Panther fans some hope. And I think they hooked up 2 passes, 40 yards, showing that connection immediately. And the one that I think was a lot of fun, and I was actually at 4x4 last night for a birthday party, and they had the replay on. But did you guys see the 70-yard field goal?
Yes.
Yep.
That's an Arkansas kid, Cam Little.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, I wondered where he went to college. Doesn't count though, right? Because it was
doesn't count as a record. He had a good 2 or 3 yards to spare on it.
Yeah.
It was right before halftime, 70 yards.
Wow.
Got mobbed by his Jacksonville teammates. I think he'll be the guy down there. But do you guys know what the current record is, NFL record?
66 by Tucker.
Yes.
68? 66.
66. Now, 66. Justin Tucker will not be extending that record because his life and his career basically are over after the Deshaun Watson massage part 2, the sequel there. I don't know what he's thinking. And
can't these guys stay out of the rub and tugs?
Well, I mean, think about that guy. Every time you go in there and do something stupid, like, does it cross your mind that you are a guaranteed Hall of Famer, best kicker ever in NFL history, and you're just going to throw it all away with something like that?
Or a Henry Ruggs. I mean, there's Ubers everywhere around. I mean, you're a rookie, or I guess he wasn't. Was he a rookie or second year when that happened?
I think he was a rookie, wasn't he? Did
I mean,
yeah. Driving
get an Uber,
130 or 140, whatever it was. And
Ubers are $30. They can afford it.
Scott, what do you think about Shadur Sanders' opening game?
I think, I think they want to start Joe Flacco to start the year, even though he's 60 years old, because he's just, every time he plays, he's steady and he completes passes. I don't think they're ready, but I could see Sanders making a run at that job, mid to late part of the year.
Isn't he still? They came out with their second round of a roster spot. Like, he's still 4th on the depth chart, isn't he?
He is, yeah. And I think a lot of that, though, is they're trying to maybe humble him a little bit and
I think
motivate him. I mean, same reason he fell to the 5th round of the draft.
Yeah.
And Dylan Gabriel went in the 3rd. He went in the 5th. It'll be interesting. I think maybe the kid will grow up a little bit too. This camp's probably helping him do that. I was going to close from the fantasy football with 5 guys I will not be drafting. Number 1, Tyreek Hill, the Dolphins. He's old, he's lost a step, and he can't quit fighting with his coaches and his quarterback and everybody else. He's acting like a guy that clearly wants out of Miami, and he's also 1 concussion away from losing Tua forever. Probably the next one should be it. And are you guys surprised that Tua is still going out there the way he's?
I lost a bet on that. After his last concussion, I bet a buddy of mine from downstream that $100 that he was done, and he came back.
Yeah.
So he should be done. Yeah.
Well, and the dumb thing with him is, if you watch them, if they're ever televised in our area, he still will tuck it and try to go up the middle, and everybody in the stadium and everybody on their TV is going, no.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have mush brain by the time he's
The last one he had, he ran into the guy's arm. I mean, it wasn't a helmet to helmet. It wasn't a knee. I mean, give it up. I would.
So I'll be avoiding Tyreek Hill. Also, Rashee Rice of the Chiefs. I don't know why it takes so long to determine a suspension.
My insiders are telling me 10 games.
10?
Yep.
Yeah, because I've heard 4, I've heard 6, I've heard 10. And from a fantasy league standpoint, there's lots of guys you can pick that aren't going to have to sit out 4 games or 6 games or 10 games. And I don't know anybody who wants to take that chance. He's going ridiculously high in average draft position. Right there, he and Xavier Worthy are kind of back to back. I'll take Worthy all day because I know Worthy's going to be out there, in week 1 and week 6 and week 10. So no thanks on Rice. Kyler Murray, quarterback of the Cardinals, probably the most frustrating quarterback to own in fantasy because he's just not consistent. He'll have. Did you
see that pass against the Chiefs in the preseason game?
Yeah. It's
looked like I threw it.
And all the things people worried about with him height wise are coming to fruition. I mean, he can't see over the line in the middle, which means Marvin Harrison is running free out there over the middle, and he can't find him. So I'll just pass on him as well.
And he's an OU guy. I'm surprised.
He is an OU guy. I was a big fan at OU. Yeah, but not in the NFL.
Not in the NFL. Okay.
The other two, James Cook, the running back from the Bills, he got a new contract today. I believe $12 million a year, $14 million a year. One of the two.
Most guaranteed money in a while for a running back. I think
$30 million guaranteed. Mm-hmm. The guy scored 16 rushing touchdowns last year. That's not going to happen again. And an offense with Josh Allen and then Ray Davis, who's kind of a bowling ball. And I'll just, he's going to be drafted on last year's numbers. Again, no thanks. I'll see what he does in another year. And finally, Travis Kelce of the Chiefs. I know that we were the number 1 podcast tonight in America over the Kelce's with T Swift. But I just, he's 36 now, I think. I think he's in better shape this year coming in. But the number 1 thing for the Chiefs will be keeping him healthy for the postseason. And for fantasy, that means maybe more time on the sidelines, maybe fewer passes his way if everybody's healthy. I just think it's time to go get, now I'll take him if he's there after about 5 or 6 tight ends are off the board, because Brock Bowers with your Raiders and Trey McBride and Kittle, those guys are locked.
Yeah, Laporta's good. I like him.
Yeah. And what do you think here before we sign off here? What about your Raiders? I mean, do you like what they've done with?
I wasn't had the preseason games. The Genty, everybody was giving him crap because he 3 carries for -1 yard. I'm not worried about that. The O-line, I know we've been kind of mixing it up a little, so it's hard to read anything into it. We didn't have any big injuries, so that's the main thing in preseason. So, I mean, we're still the 4th best team in the AFC West this year, but hopefully we make a little traction and can, sneak up on some people. And I just want Taylor Swift and Kelce to be done.
I'm not too sure that you're the number 4 team because
it's the Chargers.
Division,
You think it'd be the Chargers?
I don't know who it is, but I know this. That division has got markedly better in the last couple of years. I mean, the Broncos are no pushover now with Sean Payton, and they found a quarterback and
good
Bo
defense.
Nick.
Yeah,
Chargers with Harbaugh and Herbert, and they drafted the rookie running back Hampton. It's going to be a stud. What the Raiders have done, Pete Carroll is not going to be a guy that's going to come in and just completely screw it up. I think.
Right.
The days of the Chiefs going 6-0 in those division games, I think are gone. I think
hopefully those are over.
Yeah, I think 4-2, 5-1 would be a really good season in your division there. So
2-4 sounds better. Yeah, that would be.
Dan, anything to add?
I'm good for the night. I'm tired. Yeah. It's getting close to bedtime.
Exactly. We'll do this each Wednesday. Again, we'll try to keep it to 45 minutes or so. We invite you to follow our Facebook page, Ozarks Gambling Gurus. We put up fantasy football rankings for the positions to help with your draft. Every time Dan wins, we get a hand pay ticket on there, which is nice. Murph will keep everybody updated on the poker tournaments and stuff. And guys, should be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be enjoyable. And let's get out there ahead of the sports gambling to where we've got people coming in here to find out who to pick on that Saturday and Sunday. We'll have to get people smarter than us for that, but
I like it.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for the inaugural edition of the Ozarks Gambling Gurus. We will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in, and